Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. And I'm here today with a bookshelf tour of my Robert Louis Stevenson collection. You can see the empty shelves back here because I've pulled all of my Stevenson books off the shelves to show them to you. I'm calling this the Stevenson Shelf Sashay. I'm going to start with this one, a copy of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is from Pocket Books. This printing is from 1973. I need a better copy of Jekyll and Hyde, but for now, I do have this. Okay. Next, a copy of Kidnapped. This is a 1967 paperback from Magnum Easy Eye. It is in large print, so it's easy to read. I don't know if you can see how large the large print is. It is not what I tend to think of as large print. This copy has seen better days. There are some loose pages and just not in great shape, but it is a copy of Kidnapped, and I still have it in my collection. This is another Magnum Easy Eye copy. This one's a Treasure Island. This one's in a little bit better shape, although you can't read the spine at all anymore. It does say Treasure Island on there, but it's hard to tell. I could not see a print date on this copy, but there it is, Treasure Island. Now I'll start into my hardcovers, and I'm going to do the novels first. Some of these are just older copies. There are a couple of collectibles in here, but no first editions or anything that fancy or rare. I'm pretty sure all of these came from local thrift stores or used bookstores. This is another copy of Treasure Island. A lot of problems with the cover there. You can't really read it. It is, I can't see a date on this, but it is part of the World's Popular Classics. So there's one Treasure Island. Actually, that's two because it was the old paperback as well. And one more copy of Treasure Island. Again, it has seen better days, but it is covered, and the wrapper is protected, but you can see lots of damage. This is Modern Library, which is very nice. Got a lot of glare, Modern Library. I don't see a publication date, but it's Modern Library. There we go, another Treasure Island. We go next to Kidnapped. This is an absolutely beautiful 1948 edition of Kidnapped. There's no dust jacket, but that cover, can you see that? Really nice. The illustrations in here. This is a big old double page, including some sticker of my book that I didn't put in there. The illustrations are by Lynn Ward. This comes from the Grosset and Dunlap Illustrated Junior Library. And a lot of illustrations mixed in here. I think I've shown this before. It's just a nice David going up the stairs in his uncle's house. Kidnapped is my favorite Robert Louis Stevenson novel, favorite work of Robert Louis Stevenson. And then I'm pretty sure I've shown you this before. This is my Heritage Press edition of Kidnapped. A nice sleeve, a nice textured cover. I do have a copy of the Santa Glass here. This one has the wood engravings of Hans Alexander Muller. See, there's a woodcut there. Quite a few of these mixed in. These old Heritage Press copies of anything are just really nice. I really like this edition. Again, I just found this at a used bookstore locally. I think I paid $10. I think this is the most expensive book in my collection. It's not rare. You can find copies of this certainly online, fairly easy to find, Heritage Press. But it's still cool to have. All right, so I've shown you 3 copies of Kidnapped, 3 copies of Treasure Island, and a Jekyll and Hyde. Now we get into some of the less well-known novels. This is The Black Arrow. This is a 1923 edition, published by Samfield Publishing in Akron, Ohio, and illustration by Francis Brundage. Title page, but there's one of the illustrations there. Next, a 1993 printing of The Master of Ballantrae. This is a Reader's Digest edition. This one's illustrated by Walter Paget. I know Reader's Digest is known for its abridged books, where they would put abridgments of 4 or 5 novels and publish those quarterly. I know my parents had quite a few of those. My grandmother had some as well. But this is the full text. This one is unabridged. Here's one of the illustrations by Robert Paget. I'm going to be careful here. This is the spine is nice and tight. I don't think this book has been read much at all. That's a nice copy. It's a good hardback version of The Master of Ballantrae. All right, I'm going to move into the travel writings next. This is a Barnes & Noble edition of Edinburgh. This is a 1991 printing, and I believe Robert Louis Stevenson did all of the illustrations as well. It has information about all the places that still a tourist might want to go if they went to Edinburgh. Castle, Greyfriars Church, the grave of Tom Riddle. Just kidding. Another illustration from this book. More travel writing. This is another Heritage Press edition of Travels with a Donkey in the Cervantes. There's no slipcover for this. I just have the book itself. Illustrations by Robert de Voisin. This, again, a nice big font. Another illustration. This is, as you can see, a library book, and that's probably why it doesn't have a slipcase. This is more travel writing. This is, it's just called The Works of Robert Louis Stevenson. It is primarily the South Seas writings. Yeah, you can kind of see on the spine there, South Seas writings and footnote to history. It's about Samoa. It's a 1907 copy from Charles Scribner and Sons. A friend of mine collects Herman Melville books, and this was part of it may have been an auction lot, I don't remember. Anyway, it was a part of a small collection of South Seas books that was obtained for Typee and some of the other South Seas writings that Melville did. I helped rescue this volume from that set, leaving the Melville alone, but grabbing this one for my Stevenson collection. It has, let's see if I can do this really delicately. It has a fold-out map here. Yeah. Don't pull these out of your books and put them on the wall. Leave them in the book. This is these, what do you call them, deckled edges. Some kind of that gold thing on the top, bookmark. This is a very, very nice edition. Go to poetry next. The first thing I knew about Robert Louis Stevenson, his poetry, was Child's Garden of Verses. My grandmother had a fairly large, easy to read version that was made specifically for kids with some really kind of cartoonish illustrations. I have no idea what that edition was or what happened to it. But I found this. This is a collection from the Sears publishing house. It's not Sears and Roebuck, it's a different Sears. Child's Garden of Verses and other poems. Again, I don't see a date on this one, but it has a Child's Garden of Verses. It has Underwood, both in English and Scots. It has Heather Ale. It has Christmas at Sea. In the front cover, nice spine, nice back cover, in pretty good condition. Again, I don't see a publication date. Someday I might have to go through and do some research and actual cataloging of what I have here. Somebody might appreciate that. All right, one more book specifically written by Robert Louis Stevenson, and then a couple of ancillary things. This one is called Novels and Stories. It is a collection published by Duell, Sloan, and Pierce, published in 1946. And it contains The Suicide Club, short story, another edition of Kidnapped, The Master of Ballantrae, Travels with a Donkey, The Beach of Falissa, I don't know how you say that. The Beach of Falissa, Thrawn Janet, and The Weir of Hermiston. So some things that I have other editions of, and some that are only in this collection. The Beach of Falissa. I don't know how you say that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if this had a dust jacket, but there's obviously nothing here now. But in pretty good shape. A little hard to read the spine, but the front cover is fairly easy to read. And the contents of the book are great. You've got the uneven page, the deckled. Is that the right word? Am I using that right? I don't know. But a nice little collection of Robert Louis Stevenson books. And then just a couple of ancillary things that go along with that. This one I showed off just recently because it's new to me. It is a biography of Robert Louis Stevenson by Philip Callow. Again, with that beautiful portrait by John Singer Sargent. I think he did 3 portraits of Robert Louis Stevenson. I haven't read this yet, but it's the only biography in my collection right at the moment. And here's another one that I showed fairly recently, D.E. Stevenson. Again, we got all that glare. This is a first edition, a first American printing anyway. It looks like, from the research I've done, it looks like the American printing in New York and the Scottish printing in Glasgow were done at the same time. D.E. Stevenson is a first cousin once removed of Robert Louis Stevenson, and she wrote a ton of books, and I'm going to try one just to see how it all plays out. And now, the feats of strength. I've gone through the collection, and this is it. I don't know if I got all the way to the bottom of that stack in the camera, because I couldn't see because the stack is so much bigger than my head. But that's my collection. Most of it goes here. I have some paperbacks in another bookcase over here, but all the hardbacks go up here, and you can tell they fill up about half of a shelf. So that's a collection of 16 books. It's not everything that Robert Louis Stevenson wrote, but it sure is a lot. I'm happy with it, and I will keep watching for other options, other bargains. Thank you for watching. Thank you for going on this tour, this Sashay with me. And until next time, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.